Hello Golden State Warriors fans, we are here once again to bring you the latest news related to our team, and I would like to emphasize how committed we are to improving our performance to achieve great results. Before we dive into this intriguing news, I kindly request you to show your support by clicking the like button, and if you are not yet subscribed to our channel, I invite you all to join us on an exciting journey. Remember to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything.
Highway robbery. Former NBA players slam Stephen Curry selection over rising star Cade Cunningham. This year's All-NBA selection sparked major debate, and not without reason. Rising Detroit Pistons star Cade Cunningham landed on the All-NBA third team, a surprise to many considering the incredible season he just had. In his fourth NBA season, Cunningham averaged 26.1 points, 9.1 assists, and 6.1 rebounds per game, career highs across the board. More importantly, he helped lead the Pistons to the 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, marking Detroit's first playoff appearance since 2019 and their first postseason win since 2008. At just 23, Cunningham joined Oscar Robertson as one of the only players in league history to average at least 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 9 assists at that age. That's not just impressive, it's historic. Chandler Parsons, Cade got snubbed, period. Plenty of voices around the league believe Cunningham was shortchanged, and two of the loudest belong to former NBA players Chandler Parsons and Lou Williams, co-hosts of the Run It Back podcast. They didn't hold back in calling out the All-NBA voting process. There's one glaring name that got left off, and it's Cade Cunningham, Parsons said. He averaged more points, rebounds, assists, and steals than Steph Curry. And still, he's on the third team? That doesn't sit right. Parsons went even further, stating Cunningham had a better season than several players named to the second team, including Curry and Evan Mobley. I'm telling you, the year Cade had was unbelievable, he added. Mobley had a great season too, and he made big strides, but statistically, there's no way he should be ahead of Cade. Lou Williams, this feels like a legacy pick. Lou Williams echoed his co-host's frustration, suggesting that reputation, not performance, played a big role in how the All-NBA teams were decided. This feels like highway robbery, Williams said. They had to find a spot for Cade on that second team. He earned it. I think he had a better overall season than Steph, Williams continued. But again, it all comes down to legacy. That's why I included LeBron, because of his legacy and everything he's done in his career. But Cade? Cade's not just a rising star, he's already playing at an elite level. He should have been on that second team. Player and expert reactions. Cade Cunningham's placement on the All-NBA third team hasn't just sparked debate, it's ignited a wave of passionate responses from across the basketball world. One of the loudest came from Pistons teammate Jalen Duren, who defended Cunningham's performance without hesitation. If you're still doubting him at this point, you're just not watching basketball, Duren said in a post-game interview. He's been carrying us night after night. That's not third-team stuff, that's first-team material. Hoops hype. Former NBA champion and ESPN analyst Kendrick Perkins also voiced his support. Following a dominant performance against the Miami Heat, where Cunningham dropped a 25-point triple-double capped off with a game-winning shot, Perkins tweeted, "Mr. First Team All-NBA. Put some respect on Cade's name." Sportskeeda. A $45 million shift for Detroit. Cunningham's All-NBA selection didn't just come with recognition, it triggered a major financial milestone. Due to an escalator clause in his rookie extension, his contract jumped by $45 million, raising the total deal to $269 million. For the Pistons, this solidifies Cade as the undeniable face of the franchise, but it also tightens their future cap flexibility. This contract shift has sparked conversations in front offices around the league. "It's a big bet," said one anonymous executive. "But if Cade keeps playing like this, Detroit just locked in their superstar at a bargain." Times of India. Media and fan reactions. The media's response has been divided. While some analysts argue the third-team selection is fair given the fierce competition, others believe legacy names like Curry and LeBron edged out rising stars based on reputation rather than results. Meanwhile, fan reactions have been overwhelmingly supportive of Cunningham. Social media lit up with hashtags like #CadeGotRobbed and #ShouldBeSecondTeam, with thousands rallying behind the young guard. He put up Oscar Robertson numbers and led the Pistons to the playoffs. How is that not second team at least? One fan wrote on X, formerly Twitter. What else does the guy have to do? Jerry West was right to turn down the Warriors' GM role. He knew it could be another Lakers '96 situation. NBA legend Jerry West made a tough but wise decision when he chose not to become the general manager of the Golden State Warriors, a move that might have saved him from repeating the kind of stress that nearly broke him during his time with the LA Lakers in 1996. West's legacy with the Lakers is nothing short of iconic. He spent 14 incredible years as a player in purple and gold, but his influence didn't stop there. He later became the team's head coach for 3 seasons, and then, in 1982, took over as general manager. Over the next 18 years, West built one of the most successful franchises in NBA history. But not everything came easy. By 1996, the pressure had mounted to a point where it took a toll on his health. The stress of major decisions like signing Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal pushed him to the edge, even landing him in the hospital. Fast forward to 2011, West returned to the NBA as an executive advisor for the Warriors. But when the chance to take the reins as GM came up, he declined. Why? He'd learned his lesson the hard way. If I were handling things day-to-day here, with how the season's gone and some of the games we've lost, I'd probably be back in the hospital again, to be honest with you, West told Slam magazine. I hate losing. Before a season starts, you look at your team and ask, how many games can we realistically win? That kind of projection becomes your mental scoreboard as an executive, but it's all based on the hope of good health, he added. West was clearly referring to that infamous 1996 stretch with the Lakers, a period so intense it nearly broke him despite the brilliant moves he made. Even well into his 70s, West's competitive fire still burned bright during his time with the Warriors, and it showed. If we had a bad loss, I still couldn't sleep. It drives me crazy to this day, he admitted. You watch 1 or 2 little plays during the game and think, if only we could rewind those. It's a fast game, he continued, but at the end of the day, great players make the right plays that lead to wins. And sometimes, we just don't. Despite stepping back from the daily grind, West played a pivotal role in the Warriors' transformation. From 2011 to 2017, he helped shape a franchise that went from middle of the pack to a full-blown NBA dynasty, capturing 2 championships during his tenure. Jerry West may have declined the GM title, but his fingerprints are all over the Warriors' success. And in doing so, he found a way to keep making history, without risking his health to do it. Jerry West, Sabedoria Estratégica e Autoconsciência. Ao recusar o cargo de gerente geral dos Golden State Warriors M 2011, Jerry West demonstrou uma rara combinação de autoconsciência e sabedoria estratégica. Ele sabia que sua intensa dedicação ao basquete poderia comprometer sua saúde, como já havia ocorrido em 1996, quando o estresse das negociações com Kobe Bryant e Shaquille O'Neal o levou ao hospital. Ao optar por papel de consultor, West conseguiu contribuir para o sucesso dos Warriors sem se expor aos riscos que o cargo executivo implicaria. Impacto duradouro nos Warriors. Embora não tenha assumido o cargo de gerente geral, a influência de West nos Warriors foi significativa. Ele desempenhou papel crucial na construção da equipe campeã que dominou a NBA na década de 2010. Sua visão estratégica ajudou a moldar uma das dinastias mais impressionantes da história recente da liga. Legado de liderança e saúde mental. A decisão de West também ressaltou a importância da saúde mental na vida dos atletas e profissionais do esporte. Ao reconhecer seus próprios limites e priorizar seu bem-estar, ele se tornou exemplo de liderança consciente e responsável. Sua história inspira outros a buscar equilíbrio e a valorizar a saúde mental, mesmo em ambiente competitivo como o da NBA. NBA Scout reminds Warriors of harsh reality about Jonathan Kuminga. This could still be the end. As the offseason begins to take shape for the Golden State Warriors, restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga remains the biggest question mark surrounding the team's plans. And now, a blunt truth from an anonymous NBA scout is forcing the Warriors to face a reality they may have been avoiding. Despite hopes that the team could pull off some salary cap magic to keep Kuminga around, the scout believes the most realistic, and perhaps best, outcome might be a sign-and-trade deal. There's a real argument to be made that the best thing for Kuminga would be for the team to re-sign him and trade him, the scout told ESPN's Kevin Pelton, who recently ranked Kuminga as one of the top free agents this offseason. While that would represent yet another blow to Golden State's track record of developing and keeping young talent, It might simply be the unavoidable result of a tough season and some unfortunate timing. A fresh start might be what Kuminga truly needs. Before suffering a serious ankle injury in January, Kuminga was having the best season of his career. Over his first 32 games, he averaged 16.8 points, 5 rebounds, and 2.2 assists, injecting much-needed energy and versatility into the rotation. But after returning from injury, the team's dynamic shifted dramatically with the arrival of Jimmy Butler at the trade deadline. That move reshuffled the roster and left Kuminga on the outside looking in, sidelined during the most crucial stretch of the season. Throughout his time in the Bay Area, Kuminga's frustrations with his role have surfaced publicly more than once. Now, with his market value projected around 4 years and $120 million, it's no surprise that he may be eyeing a fresh start, one where he can play a more central role. Could he accept a role off the bench, as a dynamic scorer providing bursts of offense in limited minutes? Absolutely. And if he bought into that, he could be a critical piece for a Warriors team hoping to make one more deep playoff run with its veteran core. But the truth is, Kuminga is also the most valuable trade asset the Warriors have this offseason. In their efforts to reshape the roster and stay competitive, a sign-in trade could bring back the kind of return that helps address their weaknesses. Interest around the league is real. Teams like the Brooklyn Nets and Chicago Bulls are already rumored to be monitoring Kuminga closely, and both have the cap space and desire to offer him the role and contract he's looking for. Still, while a sign-in trade may be the most likely path forward, it would be a tough pill to swallow for a franchise that once saw Kuminga as a foundational piece for the future. But if the Warriors want to build a roster that can win now, and if Kuminga wants the opportunity to fully spread his wings elsewhere, they may both have to face the harsh truth: the best path forward might not be together. What a Kuminga trade would say about the Warriors' future. If Jonathan Kuminga is indeed moved this offseason, it would send a loud message about where the Golden State Warriors are headed, and where they aren't. It would signal a shift away from the experiment of developing the next generation alongside their aging championship core. That two timelines vision, trying to build the future while still competing in the present, hasn't yielded the results the organization hoped for. James Wiseman is already gone. Moses Moody's role remains inconsistent. And now Kuminga, the most promising of the bunch, may be on his way out. Trading Kuminga now would be an admission that the Warriors no longer have time to wait. Stephen Curry turns 37 next season. Klay Thompson is a free agent. Draymond Green has already shown signs of physical decline. If the Warriors are going to maximize whatever time they have left with this core, it has to be now. That urgency may force them to turn potential into proven production, even if it means letting go of a player like Kuminga, who still holds all-star upside. The locker room impact. Kuminga's potential departure wouldn't just impact the team on paper, it would reverberate in the locker room as well. He's widely respected by teammates for his work ethic, maturity, and willingness to grow through adversity. Trading him could deflate some of the younger players, who see him as a symbol of what's possible with patience and trust. On the other hand, if the return package brings in a high-level contributor, perhaps a floor-spacing forward or a backup big to ease the load on Draymond, there's a chance the move could be framed as necessary, even inspiring. The Warriors don't just need change, they need clarity and commitment to a direction. What other teams see in Kuminga? Front offices around the league haven't missed a beat. Several teams see Kuminga as a high-upside play, particularly in systems that can give him more touches and a longer leash. The Brooklyn Nets, rebuilding and in need of a dynamic forward, are seen as a natural fit. The Chicago Bulls, stuck in NBA purgatory and lacking young star power, are another team with reported interest. For these franchises, Kuminga isn't just a promising athlete. He's a 22-year-old who's flashed elite scoring ability, can defend multiple positions, and has proven capable of creating his own shot. His ability to thrive in isolation or transition makes him an ideal project for a team looking to build around a younger nucleus. Golden State's narrow window. The dilemma is clear. Kuminga may be the future, but the Warriors are living in the now. And while his breakout games turned heads this past season, the inconsistency, injury history, and awkward fit next to the current roster are real concerns. This is a franchise with title ambitions, not a rebuilding project. They can't afford to wait for growth that may not align with their aging star's timeline. So the question becomes, do you hold on to Kuminga and risk squandering a window that's already closing? Or do you leverage his value while it's high to reload around Curry, Green, and possibly Thompson one last time? A bitter goodbye or a mutual reset? If a sign-and-trade does happen, It will almost certainly be bittersweet. Kuminga was drafted with hopes of being the bridge to the next era. Instead, he might become a casualty of urgency. But sometimes, both sides need a reset. And in this case, the Warriors and Kuminga may have simply outgrown each other. His next chapter could be the one where he finally blossoms into the star many believe he can be. And for Golden State, his departure could be the spark that fuels one more deep playoff push, or the first real step into an unknown future. Either way, the clock is ticking.